Russia's central bank digital currency, the Digital Ruble, was launched today. The first real transactions by people are now being carried out, and the Digital Ruble is scheduled to be introduced throughout the country in 2024. This marks the start of a new enslavement for a new part of the world. In the fall, the EU will follow with its digital euro, as we saw in yesterday's video in an interview with Lagarde. This week, there was a new attack on our cash. The EU lowered the cash limit from 10,000 euros to 7,000 euros. It won't be long before the next reduction of this limit comes. All of this is, of course, preparation for the digital euro and therefore for a highly concerning development. Russia is already one step ahead and is officially introducing the digital ruble today. Real transactions are being carried out as a pilot project, as central bank money is scheduled to be introduced throughout the country in 2024. The official reason for the acceleration of the project is the sanctions against Russia. This is, of course, nonsense, because the sanctions affect foreign trade. Within the country, everything can continue to function as before. For example, gas from Russia is sanctioned. It applies to any currency, whether it's dollars, yuan, euros, or the digital ruble. The sanctions remain the same regardless of which currency is used. The argument of instant cross-border payments is also not a meaningful one, as sanctions are a ban on trade and not the speed of the transaction. The reasons for introducing it are clear. It's about controlling citizens. This is not comparable to the money in your account, which is also digital, or to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which function in a decentralized way. The central bank digital currency that is to be introduced can best be compared to a programmable digital credit card. Programmable means that the government decides what you can and cannot spend your money on. If the digital euros, dollars, or rubles are marked, it's very easy for authorities to find out everything about you: who you sent or received money from, what you paid for with it, and what you bought with it. The government could even decide that you've bought enough of a certain thing and block you. The state even knows how much money every citizen has, making the citizen completely transparent. But knowledge about the citizens is not the end of it. It goes even further. Since central banks have the money, not the small private banks, the government thus has complete control over it. As mentioned, digital currencies can be programmed, which means that the government can decide what you spend your money on. For the government, it is very easy to punish citizens at will, restrict them, or even prohibit things. This was enough meat for this month. Unpopular people could even be completely disconnected from their digital wallet. Your account is blocked. You can't buy any food. You can't pay for your apartment anymore. You can't participate in life anymore. But who are these unwanted people? These are not always terrorists or money launderers. They could simply be people who have a different opinion than the state and therefore pose a threat to the state. For example, you demonstrate against arms deliveries to war zones. Bam, account blocked. Have you just criticized the exemplary work of the government? Have you expressed concerns about vaccination? Or very recently, you have noticed the banking crisis, bank failures due to bank runs. People have withdrawn their money out of fear that their bank will go bankrupt. This is no longer a problem with the digital central bank currency. There is simply a limit on how much everyone can withdraw. You see, there are no limits to the imagination for the abuse of power of digital currencies. Not to mention the susceptibility to hacking and cybercrime. Of course, there are also advantages to a central bank digital currency, such as real-time cross-border transfers without fees. However, the risks associated with CBDC are much higher than the opportunities that come with it. If only there were a way to eliminate the negative consequences of central banks and still take advantage of the benefits.